Hello gorgeous souls, and welcome back to my kitchen for your oracle and tarot card reading for the month of June 2025, or whenever you happen to see this video. So a couple of very exciting things I want to talk to you about before we get stuck into the reading. I have a tarot book and a tarot deck coming out later this year. I believe the release date is July in some parts of the world and August in other parts of the world. The Tarot Card Companion, this is the book. The deck is the deck that we've been using now for a couple of months, and I will be using it today as well. I don't have the box yet, but the box is on the way, so very excited about that. The big exciting news is that these two hit the #1 and the #2 spot in the Amazon Hot New Releases chart just last week, and I was absolutely thrilled to bits about that because of course that is very exciting for an author to feel that their books and their decks are seen and found and that people actually want to buy them and read them and use them is very exciting. So a huge thank you and so much love to everybody who's already pre-ordered. If you are interested and you want to pre-order, I've got a fantastic giveaway. I'm giving away my Intro to Intuitive Tarot workshop to anybody who pre-orders both the book and the deck, and that course is worth $44 US. It's a pretty massive course that will like set you up for life with tarot, so it's really worth a lot more than $44. But basically I think to pre-order the book and the deck is like $50 something, so you're kind of like, you know, almost breaking even there. You're getting like a massive two for one with the book and the deck. Pre-orders are amazing for authors. They help us so much. They help your book, your deck, whatever it is that's up on Amazon. It helps it get seen, and with the amount of books and decks that are coming out, it's really important that it gets seen. So it kind of breaks the algorithm. It gets people to find out about it, and yeah, it's very exciting to see that you're already excited about the book and the deck. There's so much to share. It's full of hilarious pictures of me. It's full of spreads. There's so many spreads in there. It's got all your basics, how to choose a tarot deck, how to get started with tarot, how to prepare your energy for reading, all of that stuff. And then it goes into some deeper stuff with like how to manifest, how to do some spells, all of that juicy good stuff too. Basically, this is everything that I know about tarot in one book that I have learned the hard way over like decades of reading cards for myself and for my clients. Speaking of clients, I do have some slots open this month, which is exciting because I haven't always had a lot of space for client readings lately. I've just been so busy writing a book, creating a deck, lots of life stuff, as you know, here, seeing me in my kitchen back in the UK, lots and lots of life stuff. But this month I have space available, so if you'd like to get a reading, this is a good time to book in. I also have some space open for author mentoring. So if you're watching this, you're looking at this like, oh, I wish I had my tarot book out into the world, or I wish my deck that's half finished, that's been sitting on my computer for 10 years, could get finished and be out in the world. Whatever your situation is, whether you want to make it to #1 and #2 on the Amazon Hot New Releases chart, or you just want to get something done, get it created, get it out into the world. I write fiction too, so I can help you with that if you've got a fiction book that you want to get out there, whatever you want to do. I know there's so many beautiful, amazing, creative people out there who are just sitting on manuscripts and sitting on ideas, and I feel like one of my purposes in life is to help you to get it out there into the world, into the hands of the people who are going to love it and receive so many blessings from it. Okay, anything else? What else is happening that I'm supposed to tell you about? Light Club. Light Club is the membership. It's a membership, but it's kind of just like merging into this beautiful coven mystery school kind of space where we gather twice a month on a live call, which you can watch on replay if you can't make it live. And we do lots of fun things together. We're doing a healing circle this month. We're going to be working with Ganesha for some road opening energy. So if you're feeling stuck in your life in any place, or you just like the feeling of the wide open road, then that one may be for you. Or maybe you just got some feelings about Ganesha, and you'd like to hang out with him in that space. You are very, very warmly invited. The space is open to all genders. No matter how you identify, you are absolutely welcome there. The only rule is that you come and you're supportive and you're kind to everybody else in the group. That's it. We're more than happy to have you. Okay, I think that's everything. Oh, there is one more thing. I have a new freebie, a new free ebook to incentivize you to sign up to my newsletter list. I only send out one newsletter a month at the moment, so you will not get spammed. I absolutely promise you that. But if you'd like to get on the list, you can also score yourself a free ebook. The ebook is called Card Reading Secrets, and it's basically 10 things that have elevated my tarot and oracle card reading practice over the years. So these are things that I think can make such a massive difference to just picking up your deck, pulling yourself a card, wondering what the heck it means, to sitting with your deck, doing a spread for yourself and going, yes, I got the guidance I needed to get. So this is one of those offerings where I'm probably putting myself out of a job here, but I want to give these tools to you. I want you to just have the most magical, intuitive, beautiful life. I don't want you to ever second guess yourself. I want you to be able to use your tools, your cards, to get the guidance that you need. And my job, which it has been for a long time now, but becoming more and more so, that when clients come to me, most of the time they already have some idea of what it is that's going on for them. They just need some confirmation. So I'm your confirmation person. I can tell you whether your readings, your intuition is on, or is it a little bit off? Do we just need to kind of tweak some things? But yeah, grab the PDF, grab the free PDF. It's totally free, and if you don't want to be on the list, you can just unsubscribe anyway, but hopefully there's some things in that ebook that are useful for you. Okay, so let's get stuck into the reading. I want to tell you what decks I'm using, and then we'll do a little meditation and we'll arrive in the space. I am using the Your First Tarot deck. This doesn't have a box yet, but there is a box. If you buy it, you will get a box, but this is just the prototype deck that they made for me before they had the box set up. So we're using that today, and this deck has got some keywords on it. So it is kind of like a baby witch tarot, but I've been finding it really interesting using it as somebody who has been reading the tarot for many decades. I feel like the keywords actually give it a little something extra, which was not what I was expecting when I created it. I thought, cool, this is going to just help people just to kind of get on the path. You know, these keywords are not a be all and end all. It's not like this is what the card always means in every situation. It's just like, if you don't know anything about the cards, it can just kind of give you a little training wheels into the right direction. But for me, it's been adding this extra layer to my readings, which is really interesting. The Oracle deck that we're going to use today is the Galactic Guides Oracle. I don't feel like we've used the Galactic Guides for a little while, so I'm excited to bring that one out today. This is the Oracle deck that I created with Ellie Grant and Rockpool Publishing, and it's really fun and really beautiful. Okay, so closing your eyes if you're somewhere where it is safe for you to do so. Otherwise, just sitting for a moment, just getting quiet within yourself and just arriving within yourself and into the space. And let's just take a couple of deep breaths together. Deep inhale and exhale. Just just arriving in the space, arriving in yourself, arriving into your own heart. Deep inhale. And exhale, just letting go of anything that doesn't need to be here with you in this space. And one more deep inhale. And exhale. And here you might like to take a moment to just bring to mind any question that you have, any situation in your life that you'd like some guidance on today, and just kind of anchor that into this moment, into this point. And I'd like to set the intention, as always, that everything that comes through is in alignment with your best and highest good and the best and highest good of all. And so it is. Amen. Satnam. Deep inhale. Exhale. And here we are, ready to pull some cards. So this is Gemini season, which I'm very excited about as a Gemini sun. So we're going to begin with the air signs for our reading this month. Okay, air signs. And this can be air signs, or this can be anybody. So it can be air signs, it can be your sun sign, it can be your moon sign, it can be your rising sign, it can be that you just have a lot of air in your chart, or it could just be that you're just really drawn to the air energy for this month ahead. Okay, so let's get our tarot card. Thank you, that one fell right out. I love when that happens. And then we'll grab our, oh, they're all kind of wanting to come out. We'll grab our Galactic guide. And let's see what we have here. Ooh, okay, I am loving this for us air signs. Okay, we have the Knight of Wands, courageous, confident, and enthusiastic. See how cool the keywords are on these, on this tarot deck. It's just like, I mean, you can get all of that anyway from knowing what the Knight of Wands energy is, but it just, I don't know, something about the keywords that just kind of work. Okay, so Knight of Wands, let's talk about that for a minute and then we'll go into our Oracle card. So this is a calling. You're being called up or called forward. You're being called somewhere by someone, not just someone, but you're being called by the universe, your guides, your holy guardian angel, your higher self, whatever you want to call it, however it feels to you, your own heart, you're being called, but you are being called. You're definitely being called. And I want to tell you that this feeling that you've had to do this thing or to follow this path is a true calling. It is a true calling, and it is something for you to follow and for you to pay attention to. It is a calling that is a higher calling. It is a calling from somewhere higher than just your own thoughts, ideas, opinions, preferences. This is something that is truly calling your soul. Now, this could be absolutely anything. For some people, I feel like this is like a creative project. This is like maybe a, a job, change of career, moving house, moving to a different place. Whatever that thing is that you've been feeling within yourself for a little while now, or maybe even just the last few days, maybe the last few months, maybe the last few years, it is calling you for a reason. It is calling you for a reason. And when we get those callings, the best thing we can do is just follow it. And sometimes we tell ourselves this story of like, oh, but it's too hard. It's too hard to follow that calling. It's too risky. If it's a risk, like I never want to say to anybody, oh, you should just quit your job and like live your dream, because I know it's not always that simple. But this calling wouldn't have been placed in your heart without a reason. So you don't have to, like when I got the calling to start reading cards for people, I didn't just quit my job that day and go, hey, I'm a full-time tarot reader now. Like it was a transition. It was a transition, a fairly long transition, And you know, eventually I got there, but it wasn't like an overnight thing of like, okay, I'm just gonna quit my job and just, you know, make money doing tarot readings. This is like could be a transitional process for some of you. Some of you, it's like, yeah, I know, I just got to go and do that thing. For others of you, if you're feeling a little bit you're feeling a little bit hesitant, and you do it, you know, you move through this as a transition. You take one step at a time. One step at a time, but you follow your passion, you follow your heart. Okay, and then we have our oracle card is Sirius, knowledge, training, wisdom keeping, and wisdom teaching. So here's a really big yes to anybody who's been thinking about retraining, studying, learning something new, teaching, sharing your wisdom with others in whatever way, shape, or form that is. So I make these YouTube videos once a month, and I share some of my wisdom and some of my knowledge about tarot and oracle readings and things like that. It doesn't have to be like this huge, massive thing. You know, I sit here for a couple of hours and I make a video and I upload it, and that's, you know, one of the things that I do to share that. What is something that you can do to share that? I feel like many of you already are doing it. And for many of you, this is just a confirmation that you're already doing it, that you're already sharing your wisdom with people in your life, with your co-workers, with your family, with your friends, with people online. You're already sharing your wisdom in so many ways. And that's a confirmation. Yes, thank you. That's a thank you from your guides for the work that you're doing in that way. But there is more to share. There is more to share. You have a message, you have something important to say to the world. And what I feel is partly coming through intuitively, and this is partly just my own thoughts on this, you have to do more with your message than just go on social media and scream it out into the void. That's not to say that social media is not a fantastic way to get your message out there. But there are more effective ways to get your message out into the world. I'm being reminded of that quote that Jesus said, those who have ears to hear, listen. That's not exactly what he said, but it's along those lines of like, I'm going to speak to those who have the means and have the ability to hear what I'm trying to say. Your message will not be for everybody. And I'm calling it your message, but this could be like your creative work, your books, your art, your music, your energy, your healing energy, your, you know, the way that you work with earth medicine, like whatever it is. Not everybody's going to be on that frequency. Not everybody's going to be able to hear your message, but for those who are on that vibration, for those who are on that frequency, it's going to be glorious to them to hear and receive your transmission. And that's it. Air signs. That's it. Beautiful reading. Lots of really supportive energy in those cards. You're being supported. You're being guided. You know you are. Follow your heart, follow your path, take action, share your magic. You're amazing. Let me know in the comments if this resonated. I'd love to hear from you. If you want to work with me this month, all of the dates on how to do that are down below. And I'm sending you so much love, wishing you an amazing month ahead. Lots of love. Okay, water signs. So let's see what is up for my beautiful water sign friends. And as you may know, I have quite a bit of water in my chart, so I always pay extra attention to the water messages as well. Okay. All right, so, okay, let's start with, where should we start? I feel like we're going to start with our oracle message, because there's some similarities here between the water message and the message that I just got for the air signs. So if you want to go and have a listen to that, please do. Sagittarius. So this is all about adventure, independence, flexibility, free-spiritedness. And one thing that we didn't put on the card was the search for truth. kind of like another deeper, even deeper layer to that energy. So there's a real feeling of searching and seeking for you this month. I'm going to go ahead and just talk about the tarot as well, because you've got the Judgment card, spiritual awakening, redemption, and karma. So talk about a month of seeking and searching. So there's kind of like two things coming through. You're seeking and searching something that's important to you, something that you need. I feel like there's actually a message here around, we're always searching and seeking something, right? Like we're always looking for something. We're always looking for the answer to our question. Tarot card companion can help you with that. We're always looking for a reading. We're always kind of looking for like the next thing, the next sign, the next bit of information that can help us on our path. We're always kind of seeking answers when we're on the spiritual path, no matter how far along the spiritual path we get. Even when you get to like, you know, a beautiful place of like, I was just talking to a friend the other day and just saying to her, like, I don't feel like I'm desperately seeking in the same way that I was like maybe 10 years ago, you know, when I first started this channel. You know, I was like, every oracle deck, every tarot deck, every spiritual book I could find. I was just like reading everything, immersing myself in everything, taking courses all the time. And all of that stuff is amazing. There's a time and a place for that stuff in your life. And then there's also a time and a place for just giving yourself a break, taking your foot off the gas and just like thinking, okay, hang on, maybe I know enough right now. And that doesn't mean that you know everything, and it doesn't mean that there isn't going to be another time. Like I feel like I kind of go through cycles where, you know, just kind of maybe last year, I got really into learning again, you know, after having a bit of a pause. I got really into doing more courses, doing more study, and it was amazing. But now I've kind of gone back around the cycle of like, okay, now I need to pause. Now I just need to like let all of that integrate. I feel like you're in an energy of you needing to let some things integrate at the moment. There's a lot of stuff coming up for you around like this karma aspect of judgment. It's like, I feel like for some of you, there's just this like desperate kind of, and I'm not saying you're desperate, but it's like this yearning, this kind of energy of like, I've got to figure this out. I've got to figure this out. I've got to get to where I want to be. I've got to do my shadow work. I've got to do my light work. I've got to like make sense of the entire universe. I've got to figure everything out. And I feel like your guides just want to like wrap you up. Like the angels just want to kind of like wrap you up in their wings and just kind of let you know that it's okay just to break and just to breathe and just to rest and just let things settle and let things integrate. That feels very, very important for you. Now you do have this Sagittarius energy of like adventure. So some of you may be like, Vix, hang on a sec. Like I actually, you know, I'm traveling this month, or I'm going somewhere, I'm doing something, or I want to be traveling. I want things to be, I want to have excitement in my life. You can do all of that, but at the same time, it's like, have your experience, like have your adventures, but like release some of the expectation that, and I do this sometimes. I go to a sacred site and I feel myself like walking towards a stone circle or something and thinking, oh, you know, this is going to be so good. I'm going to get some answers. I'm going to get some guidance. I'm going to have like a mystical, beautiful experience. And then I get there and I always have an amazing experience in a stone circle, but sometimes it's bigger and louder and more exciting and impressive than other times where it's just kind of like, oh, I had a nice day out in the stone circles. Just take some of the pressure off. That's the biggest message I'm getting for you. Water signs, is take some of this pressure off yourself. This spiritual awakening energy of judgment, it's like, you know, you look online and you see all of this stuff of like 10 signs that you're ascended, or 10 signs that you're awakening, or you know, you're spiritually awakened when XYZ. And I just want to like call bullshit on like a whole bunch of that right now. That's not how you define spirituality. That's not how you define ascension. The truth is that there really is no like better place to be than just where you are right now. And then later when you're in a different place, that will be the best place for you to be. So be with yourself and sit with yourself this month. And just, gosh, I just keep hearing from the guides, it's just like, take the pressure off. Take the pressure off. Go and have an adventure, but do it without putting pressure on yourself or the adventure that it's going to like fix your life or do something amazing to you or for you. And then it will, right? Like that's the secret. It's to stop, like, you know, just release your expectations. You know, non-attachment is huge for you. If you want one key phrase for this month, it's non-attachment. That's your thing. Non-attachment. Take the pressure off yourself. Just be here now. Go on your adventures. Be your wild, beautiful self. But don't do it for any other reason than just to have an experience. Just give yourself permission to just have experiences with no attachment, no expectation. I know it's very easy to say and it's harder to do in real life. But, you know, ultimately just be kind to yourself. Remember too, that karma word keeps coming back up too with judgment. And I just feel like this is a really big message to you from your guides, that you do not have to be fixing yourself or healing your karma or clearing everything all of the freaking time. You know, like you can just step back and just let things settle and let things integrate, and like that will just help you shift and heal and just be in a better place, like so much more quickly than all of the other stuff. Okay, that was a bit of a like interesting message for you, water signs. I always love to know what you think. These readings, you know, sometimes they're a little rambly and they go off on tangents, but I always love to hear from you to know if they were useful for you. So please do comment below. Let me know. Yes, let me know. No, it didn't resonate. Like, it's all good. And if that didn't resonate, let me know what you are doing, what you are going to focus on this month. I'd love to hear from you. If you want to work with me, all of the deets are below on how we can do that this month. And I am sending you lots and lots of love. I hope you have an amazing month ahead. Okay, fire signs. This little reading is for our fiery friends, or those who are just really drawn to fire this month. So I have like 0 fire in my chart. So I still like to see what comes up, because it's always interesting. And, you know, I always say as well, if you want to just watch all of this video just all the way through and just take what resonates, that's another really beautiful way to do it, because there's always something, I think, in all of the readings that's useful. Okay. All right, fire signs. This couple of cards could not be more fire. So you have Mars as your oracle card. Assertion, force, and passion. Talk about fire, right? And then your tarot card is the 10 of Wands. And this is like the, you know, the result of what happens when you burn way too fast and way too hot. We have the 10 of Wands. The keywords here are burdens, obligation, duty, and final push. So there's sort of like, I mean, there's many different ways. Let's start with the tarot card. There's many different ways to read a tarot card. You can see all sorts of things in tarot card. It can mean a million different things in a million different days. But for me, there's kind of these two different aspects of the 10 of Wands. And hopefully when I say this to you, you will know which one is you. For some people, when you get to this point of your journey where you've been carrying your wands for so long, it's about to break your back, the best thing you can do is let them go, put them down, and move on without carrying all that baggage. For some people, this is like the final push of this last part of this cycle, and you just need to keep going that little bit further, and then you'll be at the end, and then you can move on to the next thing. Neither of those two things are better or worse or right or wrong. It really just depends on like where you're at and what your personal situation is. And that's why sometimes these readings can be a little bit more general than if we were doing a one-on-one reading, because it's like there's going to be people watching this who are maybe, you know, maybe some of you need to put those ones down and just say, that's it, I've done what I needed to do, it's time to move on. And for some of you, you're not quite there yet. But either way, the 10s are exciting. I love seeing the 10s, even the 10s that are like a little bit more, you know, of a conflict situation, to see, you know, like the 10 of swords, where we have the person on their back with all the swords in them. I love seeing the 10s because it always just feels like you're coming to the end of a cycle. So whatever's been happening in your life, this is good news. You know, if you've been dealing with some big stuff in life, if things have felt heavy, if things have felt like it's too much, if you've just felt like, oh my gosh, you know, like when is this bit going to be done? When am I going to be able to move forward? You know, all of that kind of stuff that we feel from time to time. This is a great card for you because it's saying you're nearly there. There's light at the end of the tunnel. You are moving forward. You're nearly at the end. Things are going to shift, things are going to change, things are going to be different soon. Because once you've finished the end of your 10 cycle, then you start again at the ace, you start again at the 1, and you have all this beautiful new energy to work with. So another thing that you can do when you see the 10s come up is to do some real good clearing, do some real good energy clearing, do some real good space clearing. And by that I mean visualization, meditation, do some breath work, some yoga, clear your space. But I also mean clean your space. Release old items, physical items that you're not using, that do not bring you joy anymore. Let them go. All of this stuff is so powerful to help you to release and move through the end of a bit of a challenging cycle. Now you also have the Mars card. I feel like Mars is kind of is bringing in this message of like, shine bright, but don't burn bright. Shine bright, but don't burn out. You know, this is really the message for you, fire signs. You have your fire for a reason. You're fiery for a reason because this is your soul, you know, like your fire energy. It's your soul energy. It's who you are on a soul level. It's what you came to do. The things that you're passionate about, the things that really light you up, those are the things that you're here to do. Those are the things that you're here to share. These are like, you know, this is all for a reason. Like, this is the reason that you're here. You're supposed to be excited about certain things in your life, and you're supposed to be creative and making things happen. This is who you are. This is a huge, huge part of who you are. You make things happen. If you feel like you're not making things happen right now, that's okay. You're just in this point of the cycle where, you know, soon you're going to be back at the beginning where you can start to go, okay, what's my new dream? What am I going to manifest in my next cycle? And you can be thinking about that now, of course, as well. Like, what is the next thing that you really want to do? What's calling your soul for this next chapter? But Mars brings this opportunity of like, we don't want you to burn out. We want you to use that fire to create something really cool, something really great, something really purposeful, something really useful for you, for others, for the world, whatever it is, right? Like, you've got to put that energy into something. You've got to put your fire energy somewhere, whether it is creative works, whether it is activism, whether it is teaching, whether it's learning, dance, movement, like whatever it is, find a way to find somewhere to put your fire energy into that's going to do some good, rather than having it kind of just move around in this circular kind of motion where it never really moves out of you. It never really gets activated. It just stays in this circular kind of motion within you and within your life until you're just like really exhausted and you don't even have anything to show for the exhaustion and the burnout. And, you know, I think most of us in this modern world know what it's like to burn out. I think most of us have had some burnout from time to time. We know what that feels like. If you can put that energy, your fire energy, focus your fire energy, and you're much more likely to achieve your goals, do the things that you set out to do, and instead of the fire consuming you, you will use the fire, use your passion to create some really amazing things in this world and do some really good things for this world. Ooh, okay, I love these readings. We kind of start out with, okay, the air is like, yeah, here's your message. Water's like, oh, okay. And then the fire's like, here's your message. I hope it's useful. I hope it resonates. I always love hearing from you. Please post in the comments. Let me know. Did it resonate this month? What are you working on? Where are you going to put your fiery energy? Where are you going to put that this month? I would love to know I'd love to know. Let me know in the comments if you want to work together this month. The links are below on how we can do that. And I am sending you lots and lots of love. Okay, our final signs, the earth signs. Let's see what your cards are for the month ahead. And I always say the month ahead in these readings, but it's not really like a predictive reading. It's more just like, here's some guidance, here's some things to think about. And if they resonate, great. Keep hanging around at the channel, subscribe, like. If they don't resonate, there's plenty of other readers on YouTube. I'm sure you'll find someone who does. Okay, so here we are with our earth sign messages. Okay, your oracle card is Mintaka, nostalgia, belonging, and community. And your tarot card is strength, courage, bravery, and vulnerability. So there's definitely a feeling here, really clear message about putting yourself out there, connecting with others, with like-minded people, finding your soul family, finding your coven, being yourself. Don't be afraid to be yourself, to put yourself out there, to be your shiny, beautiful self. This is how you attract your soul family. Lots of stuff coming up here around your soul family, attracting your soul family. There are times in life where we sort of, do feel like we have a lot of people around us who are our people. And then there's other times in life where we just don't feel like those people are around. It's like, where are they? Maybe they're on the internet. And I would just like to say that some of my best friends in the whole world are people I met on the internet. Some of them I've never even met in real life. There are people that I Zoom chat with, that I WhatsApp with, that I send memes to, every other day. And so let's just be really clear here with the idea that your best friends don't have to be the people that live next door to you. They're often not, especially if you are on a spiritual path and you don't live in an area where there's lots of other people on that same path. And of course, even within the spiritual community, and I've found this a lot over the years, and this has been something I've really struggled with, is, when I first kind of got on the spiritual path again, after having been on and off it for many years, I felt like I was coming home and I thought every spiritual person is my person, every tarot reader is my person, and it was not the case. It was not the case at all. I had so many really shocking experiences with people online where I thought, these are my people. And then, it's a long story, but, basically the number one thing I'm alluding to here is a situation I had many, many years ago when I first kind of started to put my tarot practice out into the world and start blogging about tarot and all that kind of stuff. And I got in a tarot group and made a comment about intuitive tarot, how I just read tarot intuitively. I sort of do now because I've done so much study and practice with the tarot, but back then, I wasn't looking at a tarot card and going, oh, what does the infinity symbol on her head mean? And why does she have 4 leaves. And what are those leaves? What plant is that? You know, like I wasn't reading tarot in that way. I was reading tarot in the way of turning over the card and going, oh, this is about XYZ. And it would just like download straight into my crown chakra and I'd just pass on the message. That's how I do still read. And you'll know that when you watch these videos and you'll be like, what's that got to do with the strength card? And anyway, I mentioned something about this in a group and people really disagree with me. People really disagreed with me. They hated that I was reading tarot in that way. And I got really bullied in that group. Like I've never been bullied anywhere else online like I had been in that group. Like a whole bunch of tarot readers, some of them who I might add were professional tarot readers at the time who had like a big presence. They ganged up on me, made me feel absolutely awful, just were relentless. I had to leave the group in the end. My husband came home from work and I was crying and he was like, what's wrong? And I was like, in the tarot group, they're so mean to me. And he's like, you gotta leave that group. So I did. I did leave that group. And you know, in the end, it took some time. It did take some time. But in the end, I ended up finding all these amazing people, mostly online, some in person, who really just were beautiful people. And it didn't matter if they had a tarot practice or if they agreed or didn't disagree with how I read tarot. It was just that they were beautiful people and I just, you know, thought the world of them and they seemed to want to hang out with me. And it was like, wow, okay, now I finally found my people. Your people can be anyone, anywhere. It doesn't matter who they are, where they are. And they don't have to have everything in common with you to be your soul family. Some people in my soul family aren't even spiritual, but they still feel like my soul family, you know? So just all of that just felt important to share with you. If you're looking for your people, they are out there. It can take a while to find them. But just remember in the meantime, you're not alone. You're not alone. And just a shout out to, if you are feeling like you need some support and you need some connection, Light Club is like the most amazing place. The people who are in that group in Light Club are not just like a bunch of randoms that are all just like hanging out a couple of times a week. They are like, we are soul family in that group. Like we're absolutely soul family in that group. And some people pop in and out and they come for a little while and they go off on their adventure, but they're still our soul family for the time that they're in there, right? You're welcome to come. You can talk about anything with these people. You can share we have a little WhatsApp group. People pop in there during the month and they just kind of share what's coming up for them. They share their tarot readings. They just, you know, ask how everyone's doing. It's the most beautiful community. So if you're looking for that, Light Club may be something that you're interested in. But lots of messages here around really being yourself in all areas of your life for all reasons. Not just, yes, you want to find your soul family. Yes, you want to connect with people who are vibing on your level. You absolutely want to find those people. But there's also a bigger part of this around being yourself. And it feels like it relates really strongly to your life purpose, to your purpose path. You can't live your life purpose if you're afraid to be yourself. You can't be true to your life purpose if you're not being true to yourself. And so, you know, a lot of the time we get really hung up on this idea of like, oh, am I living my purpose? Living your purpose is really just about being yourself and being true to who you are. That's all your life purpose is. It's not like this, you know, this voice of God like boomed down from the sky one day and told me, Vix, you are going to buy a tarot deck and become a tarot reader. And like, that didn't happen. Maybe it happens to some people, I don't know, but that didn't happen to me. What happened to me was that I was really into tarot. It was a big thing in my life that was really helping me and I was really excited about it, really passionate about it. And so I started a blog because I just wanted to talk about tarot all day, because that was just being true to myself. Like I just wanted to have a space where I could talk about the stuff that I was really into. That's how my business started. It just started as a blog so that I could talk about tarot and crystals and all the stuff I was into. So I could just geek out with other people who were into this stuff. So I could just be myself on the internet. And that's what it was. That's what New Age Hipster started as. It was just this place on the internet where I could just be myself. And at the time I was teaching in schools, and I couldn't always completely be myself in that space because, you know, there are things about me like tarot that not everybody understands, not everybody's okay with that stuff. So I had to hide, like, you know, part of who I was, which didn't feel great. But, you know, a lot of us have to do that just for our own safety and sanity, right? And that's just what we have to do at times. And so I just, you know, I started my YouTube channel, I started my blog, my website, all this stuff. And it was really just to express the truth of who I was. And I didn't know at the time that I was going to end up writing a tarot book or having a deck, you know, with my name on it or any of this stuff. None of that was in the plan. I just wanted to be myself and express the truth of who I was. And, you know, now I'm getting callings to do that in a different way, which I'll tell you about in the next couple of months. But this is what your purpose is. This is how you live your life purpose. You just express the truth of who you really are. That's the bottom line. And you can't live your life purpose if you are not being true to yourself. If you're hiding parts of yourself and from the world or from other people. And yes, like I said, there's times and places where you don't need to share everything with everybody, just for, you know, through safety and all of those things. But that doesn't mean don't share your light. You can still share your light. And I absolutely did that in that environment. I didn't talk about tarot with anybody that wouldn't get it, but I brought trees and plants into my classroom. I had crystals sitting around my desk for protection. Like, you know, all of this stuff. I was still woo-woo me. I was just, you know, certain things that I wouldn't say in specific terms while I was there. But I was still going in there, shining as bright as I could in that environment. And so you're being called to shine as bright as you can. Shine as bright as you can. And shining bright, it's such a like cliche thing. Shine your light, shine bright. Shining your light just means being true to who you are. And shining your truth, shining your heart, like being yourself, not being afraid to say the dumb thing or say the wrong thing. You know, I spent a lot of my life being scared to say the wrong thing. And then, you know, my guys were like, you should start a YouTube channel. I was like, what? And how many dumb things have I said on this YouTube channel over time? Too many to count. Too many to count. But, you know, this is just the truth of who I am, sitting here and doing all this woo-woo stuff. So, you know, you can take it or leave it. It's all good with me. Be yourself, be true to yourself. You'll attract your soul family, and you will attract opportunities to live your purpose, your life purpose, in so many more powerful ways. And so it is. Amen. Woo! Okay, these readings definitely do have like a vibe of the first ones are just kind of like, yeah, here's some basic messages. And by the end, we're like tuning into, we're really like just downloading cosmic goodness and guidance, and it's so good. And that's why we mix it up every month. Please let me know, earth signs, in the comments. I'd love to hear from you if this resonated. It resonated with me. I was going to say I've hardly got any earth in my chart, but I do actually have 3 Virgo times 3 in my chart. So could you guess? So yeah, that was for me too. It's always for me. Like, I feel like I'm living my best and highest life. I feel like I'm doing what I'm here to do, but there's always, you know, there's always more. There's always the next layer to that. Okay. That's it from me. If you want to work together this month, I would love to work with you. All of the dates are below on how we can do that, how we can make that happen. Love to hear from you in the comments. You can DM me, email me anytime. I always reply. And yeah, that's it from me. Have an amazing month ahead. Sending you lots and lots of love.